An ominous presence, Zipper the rabbit, and nightclowns. No, I'm not talking about the latest horror movie to hit our screens. I'm on about Animal Crossing. Sure, the wholesome animal pal-centered Nintendo game appears all sunshine and rainbows at a glance. However, if you look past its surface and dive a little deeper, there's all sorts of weird going on. Now, there's a number of videos on YouTube covering the full Animal Crossing iceberg. However, this is a topic that really interests me, so I decided to do a bit of a roundup version. You know, just some of the highlights, the ones that I think really stand out, and of course, the ones that are a bit on the darker side. If you're new here, hi, welcome in. My name is Spooky, and I make gaming-related video essay content over here on YouTube, usually around cozy or childhood browser games, although sometimes I do gameplay and challenges thrown into the mix too. So if you like that kind of thing, be sure to drop a subscribe down below because I'd love to see you again in the next video. Anyway, let's dive in. Isabelle, the friendly and efficient dog secretary. Surely there's nothing sus about our Shih Tzu friend. Well, have you ever noticed how her head is shaped like a bag of bells? Like, exactly. Okay, I really can't unsee it now. Not to mention her name, Isabelle, can literally be broken down into Is-a-bell. I didn't realise this till recently and now it's just blown my mind. Her colouring is also very similar to that of the game's bell bags, and if you look closely she has two tiny bells attached to her hair tie, which is reminiscent of the tie around the bell bags. Also, is Isabelle some form of currency-based life form raised by Tom Nook from his spare change to carry out his chores on demand and never rest? Maybe? It's always been pretty clear that our dog friend is overworked. She's available to work 24/7 and even falls asleep at her desk, seemingly unable to escape resident services and regularly staring out of its window longingly. Isabelle does however talk about her favourite TV shows, meaning she does occasionally escape the building to get home. Although that does make me wonder, where do non-villager NPCs live? Side note, a fun fact about Isabelle is that her BFF is Doom Guy. She is also super buff from her time in Smash Bros. If you began your Animal Crossing journey before the release of Newly, then you'll be familiar with the fact that villagers weren't always so sickeningly cheery. In the GameCube version of the game, villagers were outright mean to the player character. It's often said that Wild World held the perfect balance between cheery and grumpy villagers. They were a little bit edgy, but not too abusive. You also had to befriend them for them to warm up to you, something that players say they miss in the later games. Personalities can fall a bit flat nowadays and become quickly repetitive. Players in New Horizons were mildly horrified when, after befriending Brewster, the pigeon, in the Roost Cafe, he began offering them pigeon milk in their coffee. Regardless of how harrowing the thought may be, it may be reassuring to remind ourselves that pigeons are birds and therefore do not produce milk. However, as birds, pigeons regurgitate their food in order to feed their young. Upon re-arrival, the food is mixed with a nourishing secretion from their throats. Generally, this is referred to as crop milk, but in pigeons and doves, it's pigeon milk. So, as this is reserved for their offspring, it likely means that Brewster sees you favourably, so thanks, I guess? Blanket is a white cat character, however she appears without a face. In New Leaf, she asks the player to draw her face on, which they can do in an Able Sisters design style grid. However, before this, she led the April Fool's Day event. A fan theory suggests that Blanket is in fact an Nopperabo, which is a form of yokai, a group of spirits, demons, and monsters found in Japanese folklore. The Nopperabo is a faceless ghost, known to play tricks on people. In a game full of cheery animals and cute furniture, the inclusion of a bad luck mechanic feels a little unexpected. Although present in all the main games in the series, variations in luck can affect a player's popularity with the villagers, chances of finding uncommon things, and their ability to earn extra bells. I feel like luck also affects how frequently your player falls over, sort of how easily you get injured. Maybe it affects wasps too. Monkey villager Shari, first appearing in New Leaf, is a sisterly monkey villager. Looking at her colouring, it's believed that she's based on the squirrel monkey. However, notice her yellow limbs? Squirrel monkeys are known to urinate on their hands and feet as a form of scent marking. Yeah, this is what makes them yellow, so please don't go accepting any home bakes from Shari. When arriving in your New Leaf town, the player is mistaken for the new town mayor, being handed the job on the spot, although it's never revealed who is supposed to be filling the spot. Some theorise that it was supposed to be the cat, Rover, who questions you on the train at the start of the game. Perhaps he was trying to suss out whether you'd be good for the job. Another point to ponder is, where do the flying balloon gifts actually come from? Is it a tradition to send gifts into the air? Is it one person? Is it the Mr. Beast of Animal Crossing sending them out by himself as some kind of YouTube growing... I don't know. Brutus the Bulldog was rumoured to be an evil villager who had the possibility to move to your GameCube town if it was left alone for too long, and corrupt the game. Brutus was described as a purple and black dog with glowing red eyes and a black t-shirt. He would speak in binary and cause crashes. Brutus was later revealed to be a hoax, much to the relief of the community, but still, he caused a lot of fear for a while. Keeping with the GameCube for a moment, users were baffled by the inclusion of these wanted posters in the game. Who are these individuals? What does somebody have to do to be on the most wanted list of Animal Crossing? It's never been confirmed who these two are, however it has been theorised that the left-hand character could be Booster the Seventh from Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. A common fan theory is that Kapp'n kidnaps children. He is after all based on the Kappa, a creature of Japanese folklore that is said to, well, kidnap children. Kappas are also said to drown both humans and animals, and occasionally feast on human flesh. However, the Kappa are known to favour cucumbers and love engaging in sumo wrestling. Quoted by a user named Garaku, Aika Village is a well-known horror-themed Animal Crossing dream address and Weeelll. A dream address is a code that a user can generate in order to allow others to walk around the town without actually being able to do any damage. This location was laid out in a one-way system guiding users through a spooky environment, gradually learning more about the story of Aika. A lot was up to the person's interpretation, which made discussing theories very popular with fans. Luckily, for those that enjoyed this village, Aika returned for New Horizons with a whole new island. I'll link the dream codes down below in the description if you want to check it out. So you bought a painting from Red in New Horizons, and it's fake, and it blinks? Yeah, that's right, there are a number of items sold by Crazy Red that have a chance to be wanted. These items include the fake wistful painting. You see the eyes in this painting are closed. Fake informative statue. A faint glow will be seen. The fake graceful painting. On the back you'll see a stain that looks exactly like a body. Very suspicious. And also the fake ancient statue, which will float and its eyes will offer a subtle glow. I mean, I just want to know where all this stuff is coming from. But then again, maybe I don't. Another popular theory is that Gyroids are actually Haniwa, terracotta figures that were made for ritual use and buried with the dead historically in Japan. Their movement and sounds? Yeah, maybe that of the deceased's trapped soul. This may also explain Lloyd, the Gyroid that often assists the player with collections. It's the only Gyroid that has an ability to speak. Maybe he's just haunted. Ah yes, Zippity Bunny, everyone's least favourite nightmare fuel. Now, it's apparent that Zipper isn't quite what he appears to be. Zipper is the leader of the Bunny Day event in Animal Crossing, an equivalent of Easter, which usually involves hunting for eggs. However, Zipper is a bit creepy. During the event in Weeelll, I found the following on animalcrossing.fandom.com. During the event, villagers will usually speak of Zipper in a derogatory manner. Normal villagers appear to be scared of Zipper or worried about his health. It appears that Zipper is unhappy with the choice of uniform and job by mentioning that he wants a new job under his breath, and will occasionally mention how uncomfortable he is under the suit. In New Horizons, the character is very wary of the player seeing the zipper on the back of the costume. It's also worth noting that the mouth on the costume does actually move while talking, and throughout the series, Zipper's actually tried to clarify that he's not wearing a costume. Creepy. Also, it's terrifying when you're going about your business and then get jump scared by noticing in the background of your game at like midnight. I'm still haunted. The witching hour, 3 to 4 AM, the time associated with supernatural events where witches, demons and ghosts are thought to appear and be at their most powerful. Oh, don't worry, Animal Crossing wanted in on this too. Generally, online IRL, it appears to be a common occurrence that people seem to wake up at 3:33 AM. So in Animal Crossing, they've made this a time for extraterrestrial life. Of course it is. On both New Leaf and New Horizons, although on different days, a TV set purchased by the player and set up in their home will feature a creepy, speaking alien. This figure will last for around a minute. What are they up to? Are they trying to communicate with us? Or is it purely an accident? Okay, so this one's pretty horrifying. Gyroid face glitch is a phenomenon from the GameCube version of Animal Crossing. The site gamingurbanlegends.fandom.com describes it as the following. If a player takes the in-game train to the town of another player online, resets the GameCube while in the other player's town, and starts up the game again, the player will lose all of the items they had in their inventory at the time, and their avatar's face will be replaced with that of a Gyroid statue, complete with the empty eye sockets and gaping circular mouth. This is indeed true, as it is a deliberate Easter egg programmed in by Nintendo. Thanks, Nintendo. Now, a bit less terrifying, a bit more brain exploding. Have you ever noticed how small the planet of Animal Crossing seems to feel? Like, you can always see the turtly curved horizon, almost like you're stood on a tiny ball. This has actually been looked into, calculated and theorised by Ashley Villa and Alex McCarthy over on medium.com. I'll link their article in the description, as any form of maths just loses my brain in 2 seconds. But they did decide that the Animal Crossing world must be cylindrical, like a soup can, on its side, with the top and bottom of your map joining at the base. This world would almost be like basically infinite as well, with all of the lands of players like spread along the tube. Gulliver. Love him or hate him, you gotta wonder why he keeps ending up where he does. Now, looking at his appearance in New Horizons, you might be led to believe that perhaps this crew are trying to get rid of him, perhaps throwing him overboard repeatedly in the hopes he won't make his way back. However, there's also a theory that he's actually alien. Strangely, in Animal Crossing Wild World, Gulliver is an astronaut rather than a sailor, flying over the player's town in a UFO-shaped aircraft, which the player is able to shoot down with a slingshot, causing him to crash and the spaceship to lose parts. Maybe we can combine both theories. He's an unpopular captain, but rather than getting thrown into the ocean, he just gets beamed down and left. Animal Crossing has always made night times in the game significantly less appealing to players. Of course, nighttime will always be quieter and darker, however the series frequently uses disconcerting music for later hours. This is when unfriendly wildlife can appear, and also not to mention the 3:33 AM event. There's much less to do, with shops being shut and villagers being asleep. It's widely believed that the game is actively trying to discourage you from playing at night. Go to sleep, stop playing video games, and look after yourself, damn it. I don't mean to startle you, but are humans going extinct? Right, think about it. Just how many do you see in the series? Oh yeah, right, just the player characters? This ties in with theories about the world that the games are set in. Under what scenario is everything taking place? Is this a parallel world where humans and animals evolved at a very similar rate in a similar fashion, leading to more competition for the title of most advanced species? Is this some kind of unsettling mad scientist creation world? I mean, hamster villagers can keep hamsters, and there are catchable frogs and separate villager frogs. Explain that one. In Wild World, you also have to create and name constellations, as if nobody seems to have done this already. This seems like an almost new, blank slate of a world. Alright, okay, maybe the player character just died, and this is an afterlife. Take a look at this extract from Fan Theory's Animal Crossing wiki. In the Animal Crossing games, you, the player character, are actually dead. You are driven to Purgatory by a car or train, depending on the game. Now, many people regard Purgatory as a place of punishment, but many others understand that it's a sort of waiting room a soul stays in before entering heaven. It is the second interpretation that your character resides in. You enter a town that is populated with cute, humanoid talking animals. This seems perfect for your character, a small child, the perfect environment to keep you calm and relaxed. Your character is clearly unaware that they have died, and this is something that your own personal purgatory seeks to hide from you. Why? Because your character is not in heaven yet and isn't safe from suffering, heartache, and other traumas from the knowledge that they have passed on. My head. And last but by absolutely no means least, we have the disturbing presence of nightclowns. Nightclowns! In New Horizons, occasionally if a villager is convinced to replace a current resident of the island, they will let you know that the villager was thinking of moving away anyway, because of the nightclowns. Yeah, nightclowns. I'm horrified. Pytro, you've got some explaining to do. This puts my brain fully into the 2016 Killer Clown phase, when people are dressing up and trying to scare others around Halloween period. No thank you. But anyway, that's some of the darker points that are scattered through the lore of the Animal Crossing series. It's by no means all. There's loads more out there, but these are just some of my favourite bits. What creeps you out most about the games? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to chat about it. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please consider dropping a like/subscribe down below, as it would really help me out and I would love to see you again in the next video. But until then, goodbye for now.